Hi everyone, and welcome to our first team update for 21. This morning we released our first half results for CQR, and I wanted to share these details with you. But before I jump in, I just need to acknowledge that I know this past year has been incredibly tough for all of us. It was roughly 12 months ago that Australia recorded our first COVID-19 case, and from there everything changed. We've endured periods where our health and safety was at risk. Some of our tenants were put under mandated closures, and then they reopened and then they closed again. We had panic buying and periods of working from home with reduced connectivity with each other. I know these weekly and monthly and sometimes daily updates on operational changes were challenging and put a lot of stress on our entire team. The way we've remained agile and responsive over the past year is something that I'm really proud of. I'm also really proud of the results I'm about to talk you through, so let's get into it. As we all know, our priority during COVID-19 has been on safeguarding the health and well-being of our team, tenant customers and the communities in which we operate, whilst ensuring that our shoppers continually have access to the essential goods and services which are core to CQR's portfolio. Due to this, our centres continue to demonstrate resilience, and our first half of this financial year, the performance has been exceptionally strong. Total comparable MAT growth across our portfolio, when we include our specialty sales, it was up 5.4%, and this is up from 3.9% at June. Supermarkets, which are the foundation of our portfolio, were really strong at 8.2% growth, and this was up from 5.2% at June. Percentage of our supermarkets in turnover increased to 65%, and this is up from 61% at June, and a record for the portfolio. Additionally, we've got a further 17% of our supermarkets are within 10% of their turnover rent thresholds. During the 6 months to December, we completed 5 supermarket new leases and extensions, whilst IGA, Coles and Woolworths refurbished 6 of their stores across our portfolio. Aldi was also active, expanding and refurbishing 2 stores in the period. Pleasingly, click and collect installations are now complete at 44 of our supermarkets with Coles and Woolworths, and we've got another 6 planned. Our DDSs were really strong and up 10.4% for the period, as were mini majors who grew by 13.3%. Really strong results. Now looking at our specialty tenant customers. Our specialty stores, however, we know were impacted by the mandated closures and voluntary closures, as well as trading restrictions, and this saw specialty MAT down 1.5% as at December. Importantly, specialty sales have progressively improved, with 3.9% growth for this reporting period, 6.7% for the December quarter, and 9.2% for the month of December. And working with our tenant customers, and particularly our specialty tenants throughout this pandemic, has been really important, and supporting them with rent relief has been a significant part of our operations over the past 9 months or so. During the first half of the financial year, so from July to December, we provided $5.8 million in rent relief, and that represents about 4% of our total rent for the period. Of this $5.8 million, $4.4 million was in the form of rent-free, and the balance as rent deferrals. From these numbers, you can get to see that we've gone well above and beyond the code of conduct to ensure that we have supported our tenant customers through what's been a really challenging time. The $5.8 million of relief that we've provided in the first half of this financial year was significantly down from the $10.7 million we provided in the last quarter of financial year 20, was about 15% of the rent roll at that point in time. This is due to the impact of COVID-19 trading restrictions placed on our tenants when the pandemic first hit. Now, as we've moved through the year and COVID cases have diminished, retail sales have picked up, and by December a large proportion of our specialty tenant customers were exceeding their sales from 2019. This is really great news for us and our retailers. Impressively, we ended up the year with only 2% of rent collections now outstanding. Now let's have a look at leasing. And over the period we saw leasing conditions progressively improve, and this has resulted in us completing a record 224 specialty leases, delivering a positive leasing spread of 2.5%. This activity is also translated into improved portfolio occupancy, which is now 97.8%, up from 97.3% at June. Now, before I finish on results, I just want to cover off sustainability and community. At Charter Hall, we've made a commitment to net zero emissions by 2030 across our portfolio. Now, pleasingly, I can report that the CQR portfolio is really well advanced on this journey, and since the beginning of financial year 19, we've invested nearly $11 million on energy, waste and water initiatives. Our partnerships with Clean Peak Energy and Solgen has minimised our capital investment whilst rolling out solar infrastructure across 27 of our centres, and that's now delivering 19.8 megawatts of solar across the portfolio. The result of that is that we've got a higher degree of certainty of our energy costs, and importantly now 64% of our electricity use is being generated by that on-site solar. It was surely a busy year and with many firsts and loads of challenges, but at its core our portfolio of convenience centres remain the dominant in their catchments and provide essential and everyday goods and services to the communities in which we operate. The pandemic hasn't changed that, and our first half of the financial year 21 with our results demonstrates the resilience of our assets and the vital role they play. I want to thank each and every one of you for your continued contributions, your can-do attitude and team cohesiveness. 2021 will certainly bring more challenges, and I look forward to us overcoming them together. And that's it from me. Stay safe and have a great week. Thanks.